John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Serious testing, successful hunting. Today I'm going to be testing the QAD Exodus 100 grain head. It'll be cool to test this with my 2022 regimen. I've tested it many times in the past, and I've taken, gosh, I lost count at 60 plus animals with the Exodus over the years. I got one of the very first ones that came out, and I've used them very faithfully ever since, and they've always performed really well. And thanks to a buddy of mine, George, who sent me a pack of these 100 grains in the swept model, I'm able to put them to the test using my regimen for 2022. And you can read all about that in the explanation of why I do what I do, as well as see the scores in the description box right below this video. I'm using my Bowtech SR6, set at 72 pounds, and Bishop FOC King arrows for most of the shots, but then Bishop Fat Eliminators for the really hard impact shots. Now let's zoom on in here and go through some of the design features and specifications for this QAD Exodus. Here's a good look at the 100 grain swept model. What a wicked looking broadhead this is. I love the swept blades, though they are considered barbed, and in a few states that makes them illegal. So make sure you check your regulations to make sure they're not illegal in your state. And if there's no mention under the archery section of your regulations, if there's no mention of barbed heads being illegal, then that means they're legal. And in most states, they are legal. But they also make a full blade model where the blades come back toward the ferrule at a 90-degree angle, and those are not considered barbed. They're legal. So some advantages of this has this blade over shaft design. You notice that gives an advantage of a fewfold. One, the overall profile of the head is really short, and it's going to aid in flight, as well as it creates a lot more durability in the ferrule. I mean, that ferrule is so short and it's all steel, so it's going to be really durable, and all of my tests have proven that. So all steel ferrule, all steel blades, stainless steel blades. They're brought to a Rockwell hardness in the low to mid 50s, and it's got this what they call rock buster tip, this extra hardened steel tip that's really stout. And you notice the thing about the tip is it flares out pretty wide and at an angle that continues all the way through the length of the cutting surface. So some heads have like a smaller tip, and then the blades flare up, and that puts a lot of pressure on the blade at that point. But the Exodus just has a continual cutting angle like that, and I found that really produces an extra triangular hole rather than just kind of a circular hole with 3 slits. The blades are 0.040 inches thick, so they're thicker than most replaceable blades, and as such they're not too difficult to resharpen. You can touch them up really easily, or you can just replace them. The cutting diameter is 1 1/4 inches, as opposed to most 3-blade heads are 1 1/8 inches of cut. This is 1 2/8 inches of cut, so it adds an extra 1/8 inches of cut in diameter. So really eager to put this head to the test and see how it performs. $150. It penetrated 8 inches. $250. It penetrated through 67 layers. It's still in perfect shape after 3 shots through the MDF. It's still in excellent shape after 2 shots through the steel plate. If you look at the edges of the blades, you really can't even tell they've been shot at all. And here's a good look at the holes that it made in the steel plate. And you can see it's those classic triangular shaped holes that the Exodus makes. And just to show you how that translates in the field, here's an impala that I took in Africa. And you can see that same triangular punch. And then here's a warthog that I took. And again, that same triangular punched hole. Really impressive holes. Here's the Exodus after going into the concrete. And man, this head is just extremely durable. I have put it through so many tests and it never ceases to amaze me. This is after going through the MDF 3 times and the steel plate 2 times. The blades are still in really good condition and the tip is in really good condition. Just amazing durability in this Broadhead. So what did you think of the Exodus? Man, I tell you, every time I test these heads or use them in any way, I get blown away. I mean, I like testing new stuff, right? I mean, that's what I do. I love testing broadheads. I love new ideas. But this one has earned a really big chunk of the market share for a reason. It just doesn't have much weakness. Big cut, big holes, flies great, super durable, tough blade, strong ferrule. It's just a really good broadhead, one of the best. I've often said I consider it the best all-round broadhead, fixed blade, replaceable blade broadhead in the normal price category. And it was no surprise that it received the highest score of any fixed blade head that I've tested so far with my 2022 protocol. So read about that in the description box to see all the different scores, and stay tuned for the overall cumulative score as well as the corresponding lusk grade. But great job, Exodus. Give these a look.